Hey YouTube, coming at you with some Ultra League teams to end this week. And this one, so a couple people mentioned, can you build a Cresselia team? So I did. Steelix, Cresselia, Verizian. So the first thing about this team is, if you don't like long battles, don't use this team. I've only got 7 battles to showcase here, and I think 3 of them basically went to timeout. Just between Steelix with Breaking Swipe and Cresselia is just so tanky, right? So that's it. So basically, with Cress, it has 3 weaknesses: Dark, Ghost. So it only has 2 weaknesses, Dark and Ghost. But in terms of what you're going to struggle with, Steals isn't actually your main one. Because if you think about it, from Dark, you're weak to Dark, sure, but you have Moonblast, so that's okay. Ghost, you're weak to Ghost, yes, but you're tanky. You're going to lose those matchups, but you're tanky. You're pretty tanky. It's the Steals that you can't throw anything, Grass Knot and Moonblast. And also, actually, Flyer in Charizard Fire is kind of tough to go against. So, with that said, I actually am triple weak to Charizard now that I actually look at it. But because Steelix is just so good at just Dragon Tail, Breaking Swipe, and it's so tanky in this league, I do go against 1 or 2 Charizards, which I actually do okay against because Steelix is just a tank. So Steelix is really, really good in this league at just having the bulk and then getting the Breaking Swipe that you can take. Like, I remember, what did I go against? I went against something that has like a ground move, and I threw 1 Breaking Swipe, and then the ground move did like 50%. Like, it's crazy how tanky Steelix is. And then if you're going to have all these problems with Steals, you need something that could beat Steals, and Verizian was that answer. So, and I run it with Leaf Blade for like a Swampert answer on the front, or just any sort of Tapu Fini in particular too. So mirror match here. I don't think there's a point in baiting in the mirror match. I think you can just go straight, because worst case scenario, they shield and then they land an Earthquake on me. That's sort of the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is they don't shield. They then get out into Verizian. I catch a double kick on the Cress. And this is where Cress is just like so strong. So they have resisted double kicks. Psycho Cut is super effective, but like not going to do anything. But it's just bacon. I think they have Leaf Blade too, if I remember. Yeah. But it's just like, it's going to take 4 Leaf Blades to take me out. So I can Psycho Cut. This Moonblast does like 60-ish% plus. So I take it deep in the red. Attack lowers at that. So that's lucky. And now it's just like a tickle. Like, I'm taking a Leaf Blade tickle from a very hard-hitting Verizian. They're going to get their 3rd one off. They're going to have to get a 4th one off to actually take me out here. So 3rd one, just let it go. I feel like I could have maybe farmed all the way down, but I'm like, let's just get this Grass Knot off here. I don't want to take that chance. Get another Grass Knot off on a Gliscor. Again, that's good chip, and they're going to have to throw, so I'm going to get to another one here. And they do not throw, so this is going to put it down to like 50%. So Cress just taking super effective claws. Now they're going to farm me all the way down. I have to kind of keep this on Steelix here. I could take a liquidation, but I was about to say, there's no point in me taking a liquidation when I'm just going to lower their attack. So lower their attack. They shield, and now they're going to get out. They do hit me with a move, but at this point I'm like, you know what? Even if they Earthquake me, which they do, I can now just double kick and come out with 2 Leaf Blades. And that will take out, again, I don't need to worry about taking a Breaking Swipe here. That's fine. Lowering my attack, that's not an issue, because 2 Leaf Blades are going to take out the Gliscor from this range. So they get a move off. It is just an X Scissor. Yeah. But I have back-to-back Leaf Blades here. And despite the weird frame drop timing where they got to move off, and we didn't CMP, and they got to move off there. Does not matter. Back to back here for the win. GIratina Lead. So this is obviously a great lead. There's not much. I mean, I'm surprised they stay in, because even if they get to this Shadow Sneak, it's not going to do a ton to a Steelix, and these are adding up. So they eventually get out. They don't outpace me. I was supposed to say they outpace me here. They do not outpace me. I get another Breaking Swipe off. And now, let's see if I go in Verizian. Yep, that makes sense. So even though the double kick is resisted, unless they have Aerial Ace, which if I remember they don't, they have X Scissor. Right, X Scissor is neutral because you're half fighting, so that only is neutral. And then the liquidation is resisted. I could have came in. The problem with Cress is Shadow Claw is super effective, X's are super effective. So you're taking double super effective. I'd rather just come in here, very easily get off 2 Leaf Blades because Verzine is very spammy. Take this out, keep alignment on the GIratina, which this thing is probably just gonna. I'm just about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to like farm me all the way down. The thing is with these Leaf Blades are resisted, obviously, but as a stab move, obviously it's not gonna do a bunch because it's a GIratina. But you know, like a couple of these basically starting to put this in like farm down range instead of having to throw a move, right? Here comes the second one. And here we are. Now it's in farm down range. I try and snipe with Nidoqueen. I think what I do is I come in here and I lower its attack first. And then I either eat a move on Steelix or I come in immediately with Cress. Because now it's like their attack is lowered. I'm just a bulk. I know Steelix can sweep the GIratina. They lower my defense. That's fine. These Psycho Cuts are adding up. Grass Knot is neutral. This game is over. So what I like about this team, and I did very well with this team. What I like about this team is you have Steelix and you have Cress, which are both tanky enough that you can kind of do as you please, sort of thing. Like I usually tend to save shield for Verzine, as you can see. I still have 2 shields left and my Verzine's already gone. I'm never threatened to shield with these 2 Pokemon just because they can take so much damage. Here's your Charizard, right? This is kind of where you want to see it. Again, the Charizard matchup is interesting because these Dragon Tails and Breaking Swipe do add up. It's a non-shadow, so it's adding up a little slower. But like they could bait. It'd be kind of risky to bait in this situation because if I let it go, especially after lowering their attack, that's kind of rough. Get a second one off, and now I think they let it go and I let the Blast Burn go and it does like 50%, 2 times lowered. Yeah, so it's not a bad play on their part just to like grab a shield. This will still do chip damage and then they'll have alignment here. But again, like there you go, 50%. This is just a Dragon Claw. Charizard, again, is tricky for this team. But have shield advantage. Out comes a Machamp. So I'll probably just stay in this because I want alignment with my Cress. Get caught in the move animation. But again, do like 50% on a Machamp. It's not like that's a good thing about Steelix is you get that if you take switch, you're often getting like a little bit of advantage on the other Pokemon. What is also tough in the back is GIratina. Well, it's not tough. You actually have a decent matchup here, but Claws are just they're gonna get to the problem is they have a shield advantage. If they didn't have a shield advantage, I can Moonblast here, and then that'll do super effective. And then they Shadow Force me, right? I did not expect that. And then this top left, yeah, not much I can do there. Muk again. Muk is generally good since most are running Poison Jab, and it is. Obstagoon. Okay, so this is just looking like a hard counter right now. I'm throwing this immediately. I could take any move, so it's not like I need to throw this. They will get a move off, Night Slash or whatever. One could argue, considering it's just going to be like Night Slash or Cross Chop at best, what I probably should have done is farmed up a bit because now they're just going to Poison Jab me all the way down. But Verzine's so spammy that I'm still going to get a second one off here. Right? But if I maybe farmed up, I could have maybe got like a third one off. But I'm only going to get 2 off now, but still, damage is done. They have to throw, so I will get a third one off. So maybe just farm up a little more there with Verzine in that matchup, just when it's so hard. This is looking like just a pretty easy matchup. So yes, it's a dark, but it's also a dark fighter. So double super effective Moonblasts here. And I let the first one go. It's just like, I just lowered your attack. How much can this actually do? And the answer is like, not a ton, right? Not a ton. So take that. The thing is, I think they just outpace me to these foul plays compared to the Moonblast. So I will have to start shielding. I don't really want to have my Steelix on this. But I actually do in the end game. Because what they do is they double shield, thinking that they need to chip with I forget what was in the front. With their GIratina. No, wait, what was in the front? Muk. Dark Pulse me, and I'm like, no, my win condition is this. So Dark Pulse shielded, come back in here, farm, and now you get what is a very boring Break and Swipe Dragon Tail versus counter Power Punch. And as you can see, because I'm already at a Break and Swipe, I'm at like 70% health. They were at 70% health, but because I had energy advantage, what ends up happening, I think we simultaneously KO, or I take it out just before, because I keep lowering their attack, they keep bumping their attack. Counter super effective, but Dragon Tail still adds up. I'm super bit bulky, they're decently bulky, but like, this is pretty strong. I know I'm showcasing Cress in this, but Steelix is pretty good in the Ultra League. They get another Power Punch, but it's not enough to take out if I remember, and I get a Break and Swipe off, if I remember. Yeah, so I actually win, just going straight Break and Swipe there. Really nice there. Steelix into Greedent. So this one I get timed out on because I already remember this. So super effective Mud Bombs, neutral crunches, non-stab Dragon Tail Break and Swipe. I take the first move. It's a crunch, that's fine. They lower, so 2 out of these 3 crunches lower my defense. So unfortunately it's not as one-sided as it should be, because with these attack falls, I should have a very comfortable matchup here. But their crunches land 2 defense falls, so it's kind of like it's still neutral. Right, so there's another, I forget if it was on the first one or it's coming up on the next one there. So they got the defense fall, I get the attack lowered again. The good news is I do take switch here. There, I get the crunch off. There's the other defense fall. Okay, so back to back there, right? So what should be a pretty comfortable matchup is now turning into this is getting a little tight, but even so, even with 2 defense falls from these crunches, I'm still in this situation able to farm down, right? So that's huge. Outcomes, I forget what, I remember this game being a Tentacruel. So I lowered the, I'm like, okay, Tentacruel's a weird one because it's poison, so this is resisted. So I lower its attack first, and I'm like, you know what? Lowered attack, poison resisted. I'm going to get to an Earthquake here. So I'm like, let's just get to an Earthquake and take this down a huge peg. And I do almost KO it. I can't quite get the farm down. They have to throw. I was going to get to another Breaking Swipe. So, man, I know I put Cress in the thing, but Steelix is coming through. So Cress gets in here. And again, this is where it's just tricky. Well, that's not going to be a Shadow Force this time. So that's good. I kind of just have to stay in here because this is my like really only answer to this, and hope I can get 3 Moonblasts off. What I'm not worried about is what I think is going to happen is they're going to double shield and then try and catch a Moonblast back onto their Tentacruel. So they get the second Shadow Sneak off. I will shield that one. Get to this move. I remember they shield again, and I know they come back in the Tentacruel to try and take me out here, or catch this move. I have to shield. I know they're gonna come in immediately here. I bank the Moonblast, knowing that it was coming. They get to move, but it's just gonna be probably a liquidation or Scald, whatever. Sorry, Scald, resisted, attack lowered, but now I'm at a Moonblast, and it's basically comes down to, can I chip this? I don't even know how much Moonblast does. Can I chip this enough to get it in Moonblast range? But then it comes down to, because the Green and Steelix matchup took so freaking long, it comes out to a timeout. So I win because I have 2 Pokemon left. I win this timeout. So, yep, that's this team. Gliscor. Again, Gliscor, very similar to Charizard, where they're going to hit super effective with their nuke, and you're hitting neutral, but they're resisted on the wing attacks here. So both were non-shadow here, and this is kind of the only not like a huge problem, but it's like where it is a problem is the fact that like you're gonna have to use at least 1 shield for the first nuke to lower their attack times 2. But these Dragon Tails and Breaking Swipes are not going to take this out before they get to another move. But you can't really use 2 shields here, so you just kind of have to eat it. But again, there's your like 50%, right? Not going to do a ton. If I remember, they just let this go. Is this the one with Tapu in the middle? Yeah. So that was quick. So this is just a Night Slash 3 times lowered is not going to do anything to me here. And this is where I pivot. Yeah, if I remember, it's the Tapu comes in and I pivot immediately to Cress, right? Easy pivot to Cress here. I'm worried about a catch, and they do catch on a Tentacruel. So again, not the worst case scenario. Super effective Psycho. Again, not that Psycho Cut's a move that matters in any sense, but super effective Psycho Cut plus the Grass Knots will add up on this Tentacruel. You can take a Scald with ease here, right? Scald gets off, not going to bother me any. And I'm just saving what's left of my shield's footing. And I want to, if I remember, this person is smart, because I'm like, okay, if they stay in here, I can get this move off, take this out, and then switch lock them and break and swipe them a couple times down, and they immediately get them and snipe me here. So there's a very, very heads up play by my opponent here, because they just dumped all their energy. I think I come Virizion right away. Yeah, they're up a shield, which is the only problem. And now it comes down to a bait game, because I'm going to get multiple Leaf Blades off. Again, not enough to take out. But it now comes down to a bait game. Surf versus Moonblast. And you can tell in my voice where this is going. They get to the move. They bait. So I'm like, crap, I need to try and catch this. Let's go like one more. And get one more move. And then I'm just going to do like one more double kick and try and catch. But Surf being a one-turn fast move, much easier to... see, I had it. I clicked it, but I got caught in the double kick. It's a 3-turn fast move. They Moonblast me. I'm thinking like low enough, I can just Dragon Tail, break and swipe down. Not when it's a fairy, and not when you are a non-stab defensive Pokemon. Cannot get the farm down. They take that matchup. So had I like not called the bait, or they didn't bait, I would have won this matchup, but just tough there. And speaking about tough, you are half ground, so the steel just kind of is neutral here. But we know that Crest can just eat anything, right? So that's exactly what happens. They just eat it and get out of here. Another Tentacruel. Did someone put out a team with Tentacruel? I know that there was the event that happened, so I know a lot of people have Tentacruels now. But they are just everywhere. And I think the reason they're just I get up to an Earthquake and I bait here. Yeah, I remember this, and they shield. I think the reason that they are everywhere now, besides that event, was because there was a ton of Virizions running around earlier in the season. So I think everyone is now just using Tentacruel. Because there's still a lot of steel. There's still a lot of Regis. I actually did not see a lot of Sand Slashes when I played today. But there's usually like Sand Slashes, Registeals, like Cabalians. There's a lot of steals around to be so free with that. They get a move off. I do get to a Moonblast, but the game is spazzing out on me here. I do try and Dragon Tail snipe this, break and snipe it, but they get a Grass Knot off, but it's okay. Again, you can kind of take everything. As you can see, I'm just like absorbing all this damage on Cress and Steelix and just really saving my shields as best I can for Virizion. So I get a second Grass Knot off. That's fine. I get another break and swipe off. They have the Tentacruel, right? It's low. And out comes an Obstagoon. And an Obstagoon lowered the attack here. He's not going to have a great time against Virizion. Let's see if I'm a little smarter here. No, I remember this because I just get it out of here immediately. I know that that Sacred Sword will take it out from here. I don't need to throw this here. Again, I could take a move, especially with the Tentacruel coming in here. I actually kind of almost blow this. Nah. Because now what I do is I just make it so they can Acid Spray me and lower my defense, and I can't reset it. So kind of a dumb play. I have 2 shields. I know it's going to be an Acid Spray. I'm going to let the first one go because they're loaded, so I'm going to have it so that I can shield up the second one here. I think it's just a Liquidation here. out comes the Cress. I have a Leaf Blade. Not enough to take out the Cress. I remember I double kicked down here. Shield up a move. It is just a Grass Knot. But shield it up, double kick down, get a Leaf Blade off on the Tentacruel for a win as the timer is coming up here. Yeah, lots of last second battles here with this team, which is not surprising when you have a Steelix and a Cress on your team. So that's a team. I do like the team. Again, Virizion has become like one of the better Pokemon in this meta right now. You have Steelix and Cress, which is super bulky. Steelix has your Earthquake coverage for Steel's worst case scenario. Dragon Tail, Break and Swipe is kind of like just so strong against most Pokemon. And then Cress can absorb a ton too. Obviously, Charizard is a bit of an issue for this team. So you can either do one of two things. You can change one of the Pokemon, or what another alternative is if you have if you truly just use this as shield advantage, Virizion, you can run Stone Edge on Virizion to one-shot the Charizard. Stone Edge will one-shot. I have seen both Double Kick, Sacred Sword, and Stone Edge, and I've seen Double Kick, Leaf Blade, and Stone Edge. So you can really run either or on your Virizion there if you want to have more of a better answer for Charizard. But that is basically it. Like I said, you're gonna see more. You're gonna see at least one more. Trying to think of posting schedule here. This will go up Wednesday morning. You'll see one more Ultra League team, at least, one more Ultra League team Thursday morning. You're going to see probably Wednesday this afternoon, you're going to see Shadow versus non-Shadow Ultra League Pokemon. For the most part, it does not seem to matter too much right now for the top Pokemon that I just looked at, but I'm going to make that video right after this. And then League Turnover Friday, and then I got some mostly Great League teams coming first, because it's Great League, Ultra League, Master League next week, so mostly Great League teams coming first next week, and then I'll probably have at least one more. I've got a couple extra Ultra League teams here, so maybe a second one tomorrow on Thursday, or save it for next week. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.